Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're looking at the aftermath of that South Park episode. It's apparently whacked the beehive pretty hard. In fact, it brought out Gina Carano, fired Lucasfilm star Gina Carano, and she has taken all kinds of shots at Kathleen Kennedy herself. And
well, she probably has reason.
I'm sure she does. So CBR is even covering it, and I don't think they're going into a lot of detail about her being a problematic alt-right Yahtzee or anything like that. They're just like, here's what happened.
Yeah, I know. The whole thing, they're like, well, because she's against trans people. It's like, I'm sorry, saying I understand why you want pronouns in your bio. I respect it, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. Doesn't make somebody anti-trans.
I think they're all going after J.K. Rowling now because she she goes a little harder in the paint than Gina Carano. But let's talk about this, because this is kind of like everybody can see this now. So for years, the narrative has been like, poor Kathleen Kennedy. All these alt-right chuds are just picking on her for no reason whatsoever. We don't. Now all of a sudden it's like, you know what? No, Disney Star Wars sucks and Kathleen Kennedy sucks. And
but now it's okay to say it.
Now it's okay to say it.
Yeah.
Now it's okay to say it. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So this is coming from CBR, and they're getting it from her Twitter/X account.
Really quick, just speaking of things you're allowed to talk about now, mainstream media is saying that The Little Mermaid didn't do well. And you're allowed to say it now, but remember, you couldn't say that, or you're a racist bigot and you hate women.
Oh yeah, and Star Wars is in trouble,
right.
And Disney stock's down.
And now they're all saying it, and it's like, but when they say it, it's okay.
Well, that's like we did the video earlier today talking about how everybody admits that Disney is having trouble, but nobody will admit why they're actually having trouble because they don't want to be Nazis. You don't want to agree with it. It's like, yeah, but everybody in the comments like, yeah, hey, the reason Disney's having problems, or at least what's compounding their problems, yes, they're putting out subpar crap, but they're also getting overly political. And and part of the reason, for those of you who don't know, Gina Carano, who was on The Mandalorian, is no longer on The Mandalorian because of some tweets.
Basically, yeah.
And they were very lukewarm tweets.
And the thing is, like, Pedro Pascal was saying similar things, and that was okay.
That was okay. Yeah. Yeah. And she found out she was fired via social media and via the trades. Like, and Lucasfilm had to put a statement out to disavow her. And she's like, what the hell is going on here? Anyway, Gina Carano blasts Kathleen Kennedy after unflattering South Park portrayal. Former Star Wars star Gina Carano went on a tirade against Kathleen Kennedy after the Lucasfilm boss roasting on South Park. Remember, guys, both sides, though.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's both sides. So this is what she said. She said, this is the part where Kathleen Kennedy demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because of the ratio she'll receive. She'll have her publicist, Ghouls, make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about the South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm. She'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racist, bigot, transphobes, and demand that the South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of. And finally, she'll demand that they subject themselves to a re-education course of 45 people in the LGBT community Zoom call. That's what they did to her.
That's what they did to her, yeah.
Yeah. And they'll listen to how badly they got their feelings hurt over a little boop of a South Park episode. Or maybe the jig is just up. I think that's it.
That's interesting, though, because, there's got to be a kernel of truth. Well, it's interesting, though, they said about Variety and Hollywood Reporter, because when they wanted to put out The Acolyte, they went running, was it the Hollywood Reporter? One of them, they were running to them to say about this new show that was coming out from Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy and all this stuff, and it turned out that the Bobs weren't aware of it, and they're like, wait, what? Because they were in the Harvey Weinstein issues, and then they're doing an end run and announcing it in the trade, so that tracks as well.
Yeah, so...
And she gets pissed about YouTubers, apparently, too.
Well, that's what happened
Here's my ass, Kathy. Kiss it.
Well, look at... Because YouTube changed their whole downvote thing because of Kathleen Kennedy. Because of Star Wars. Because of Disney. And they put the pressure on YouTube. They probably it'd be a real shame if Disney never advertised on YouTube again, wouldn't it? So take away that downvote button. Star Wars Theory. This is a guy who freaking loves Star Wars. And... Pablo Hidalgo mocked him.
Yes.
This guy has like 3-4 million subs on YouTube. Pablo Hidalgo mocked him publicly because he was emotional when proper Luke Skywalker returned.
As was I. I too also love Star Wars, but I don't have 3 to 4 million subs or 2 to 3 million subs. I do have a character named after me, though.
You do, and they killed her though.
Yeah, well, I fell on her, but I still have more than some people.
It was probably Trump's wall, wasn't it? He dropped it right on you. Yeah. So I mean, I think the jig is up. I think the fact that the South Park guys are able to do this, the fact that this thing is so well received too by so many outlets, the Hollywood Reporter and Variety were even like, yeah, this is kind of funny, right? But it's owned in the chuds, but it's still kind of funny. I think everybody knows she's a dragon lady. I think they know it.
I think it's just amazing to me that, people just don't like this woman. I just can't understand how you can screw up as badly as she has and still have a job. I will never understand that. She has to have some major dirt on people. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So here's a follow-up. All right. Oh my
Holy
God.
God.
I didn't know you could write that much on. This is Elon's Twitter now. So, in case you're wondering, this is around the galaxy. Support SAG-AFTRA. You should be supporting Gina Carano because she doesn't like Disney and Lucasfilm, and you don't like Disney and Lucasfilm because they're not giving you more money. See, my enemy of my enemy is my friend. But anyway, in case you're wondering, Gina Carano has lost her GD mind.
Oh,
wow.
Here we go.
Wow. Should we go through this?
Yes, you should, because I agree with her.
Okay. Do you want to start reading? Because this is a lot to read.
Do you always call a woman crazy just because she has more firsthand experience than you and says something you don't like or understand? Yes, Gina. Yes, they do. And they also call you an internalized misogynist. I can confirm. Bit misogynistic, don't you think? Tisk, tisk. Exactly. And they don't like it when you turn that on them. Curious if your overlords pay you, or do y'all just go ahead and shove your whole head straight up their ass for free? I'm guessing for free. It's usually for free.
It's for free.
Might want to come out for some fresh air. For some added context, not just for you, but for the people reading. One of the things your overlords asked me to do was unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy. That was a huge red flag for me. So wait. So she was told when she worked at the Lucasfilm that she had to unfollow accounts because Kathy Kennedy didn't like them.
Yes, you can't follow any of those Nazis on YouTube.
If I were the head of one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world, I would know that haters come with the territory and that maybe the haters are expressing their thoughts because they actually care. And caring is a good thing because as long as they care, well, hey, we still have something to work with.
Yes.
As we've said,
yes.
Love and hate, both good, apathy's death.
Yep.
Maybe we can win their hearts back eventually, and maybe they do have some good things to add to the conversation, which they do and did. And at the very least, they are still buying the product. Look at Mando season 1. Boom. The healing had begun. That's okay. They ruined that by season 3. If you're a proper good leader, you learn how to embrace and communicate, not dictate and silence and demand your actors and directors unfollow and shame more than half your fan base and the people who have stuck with the franchise for decades. Ooh. Yes, that is completely true. Side note, don't say the Force is female and then allow only the men to express their political views online. In fact, just drop the ridiculous phrase completely. One of the problems your overlords are having now is that they've made a lot of people completely stop caring about one of the most beloved franchises in history.
Yep.
All by bullying, pushing aggressive agendas, and trying to silence the people criticizing them.
Yep.
Ryan Johnson was out there drinking man baby tears, you know, and having a little hissy. He still hasn't got his trilogy yet, has he? How are they able to tell stories they don't understand when the ones who they identify with is the Empire? They are literally trying to squash the little guy, the rebellion. No wonder the storytelling is struggling. Holy crap, this is long. They fired and dehumanized people like me who did absolutely nothing wrong, all to virtual signal to people like you, the yes men. But yes men, unfortunately for you and them, do not drive culture. Maybe they are banking on the kids picking up the slack, but one of the best things about this franchise is passing it from generation to generation to share. The competition is too high to throw out something as valuable as that. Why would one generation pass on it when you've disrespected and thrown them away?
Ooh.
Do you want to take a turn?
Sure, but I can't do it in a female voice. I could try, but it'd be
okay. Please do.
No, I'm not going to. Your overlords tried to hide behind the two opposing fan bases fighting each other instead of taking responsibility. So they encourage the hate, all while virtue signaling they're standing up for minorities, but instead using them as a shield and weapon.
Yes.
Funny enough, just how our government works. They think people will forget, and yes, maybe they will. But for this moment, they have heard the people's voice, and it shook them. They're choosing to stick with their weak leadership who couldn't handle YouTubers saying mean things online.
That's funny because, you know...
She would have the inside scoop
We would be some of those YouTubers they'd be pissed about, probably.
Well, okay, so they rounded a bunch of us up, and they wrote a hit piece, and it was some Raylo that has her head up her ass, Lucasfilm. And
it was all a bunch of bullshit. It wasn't even true.
It was all a bunch of bullshit talking about how channels like ours were literally leading people to become alt-right Yahtzees.
Except we're not even
on the right. Like, anybody that knows us are like, God, you're kind of bleeding hearts. I'm like, yeah, well, in the 90s, we would have been liberal. I don't know what the hell the goalpost kept moving. But anyway, so... yeah, so they did have people out there doing this dirty work, right? And I think a lot of the people that were out there, false flagging and the sock puppet accounts and all the shit, I think they were Lucasfilm flunkies. And I don't think a lot of them were paid. I mean, people speculated they're paying. It's like, no, some people, it's enough just to give them praise.
Yeah, if you just give them the high five, that's all they need.
You know, like, oh, maybe someday you'll get to write a comic book or something. Maybe someday, you know, we'll give you a cookie or something. Same with all these animation stands and these Discords too. They think they're going to get a cookie.
Oh, we know that for a fact. They're basically told they're going to get something if they go after us. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway. So they said, yeah, a true leader would have stepped in, taken the reins, took some responsibility, stopped discriminating, apologized about the things that have been done wrong, stepped completely out of politics, be truly inclusive, and they'd be back in business. Until then, they're stuck with the yes men and their plummeting stock. Star Wars was easy to fix. Even after the sequel trilogy, again, people came back for The Mandalorian.
But they killed that too.
And they killed that too.
Book of Boba Fett was a joke.
That should have been a slam dunk. Freaking a Boba Fett show and an Obi-Wan show? How the hell could you be bored with both of those?
Well, Obi-Wan, I mean, I know. Let's do Obi-Wan on Tatooine. He's there to protect Luke, but let's make it about Leia, who we supposedly never met until later. But now they just pretend you don't know me.
Yes, and that's...
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, right? So stupid. Maybe she had her memory wiped when they wiped 3POs. I'm not saying I'm right on all fronts, but I'm open-hearted and refuse to discriminate based off powerful people telling me how to think and act. And if there was something I needed to apologize for, I would have come in a heartbeat. I didn't say or do anything wrong. People have come up to me daily, shake my hand, thank me for taking a stand, even people who think differently. One thing is true, good leadership makes for a better world, leading to healthier and happier people and better opportunity. Look around. We are watching the devastating effects of what bad leadership can do worldwide.
So the franchise has been a shit show. It's Kathy Kennedy's fault. Remember too, like when you look at The Force Awakens, it was just New Hope all over again. Then you thought you were going to get something new with The Last Jedi, and Rian Johnson just basically came in. But while they were doing The Force Awakens, was writing this not in conjunction together. They had no overarching story. They just each wrote what they wanted to do. Brought J.J. Abrams back to try to undo it. So you lost your audience with Last Jedi, but you gained this new Tumblr audience and the journalists, and you gained them. And then, and that's when they're like, everybody's a man baby, ha ha ha. And then by the time you tried to undo it for Rise of Skywalker, then you made the journalists mad. Then they're like, oh, Star Wars sucks. And then they're like, there's no overarching story here. Like, no shit, Sherlock. We told you that a bazillion times. She ruined it. You know, she did this. And then apparently the whole time she's been getting ass mad about YouTubers. And I mean, don't even get me started, Indiana Jones. I mean,
that was dead on
I checked
arrival.
out far enough from Star Wars. I didn't even go there at all. I haven't even seen The Rise of Skywalker.
No, people are like, you're gonna watch it. You can't help yourselves. It's like, no, actually, we didn't go. We live stream.
I have no give a shit to watch that movie.
I don't either. I've seen a couple of clips. I'm like, God, this looks bad. This just looks bad.
And
looks like a parody of Star
seen Indiana
Wars.
Jones, and I'll tell you why. Desire. Mostly because I haven't seen it. So I don't know if it's good or bad, but from what I've heard, it's probably going to make me, for some reason, that one would break my heart worse. I don't know why. I'm a bigger Star Wars fan than Indiana Jones fan, but Indiana Jones always kind of reminded me of my dad. So I think if they ruin Indiana Jones, it's going to make me more upset. So I don't watch it.
We had an ending for Indiana Jones. It wasn't a great ending, but like we already had the ending. Then we had to undo that happy ending too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
There's no need to do that.
There was no need to do that. And the thing is the media never lays the blame at the feet of Kathleen Kennedy because they don't want the YouTubers and the alt-right chuds to be right. But
they don't want to be yelled at by Disney either.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on
now
here.
They're all crawling out of the woodwork, falling over themselves to call Disney out. Well, and like, Kathleen Kennedy, because, it's trendy to hate on Disney because of the Hollywood strikes.
Well, yeah, and I think that's part of it. And I think, journalists view YouTubers as their competitors.
But the YouTubers are calling this shit out before they even got, around to it.
You guys are 5 years late to the party. 6 years late to the party. Like, what the hell? He has to get a dig in, though, because it's comic book resources. We can't let it go without getting a dig in. Okay, so basically it's just all like, oh yeah, it's just what she said and blah, 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 blah. But then in the South Park special per Paramount Plus, Cartman's deeply disturbing dreams pretend to the end of the life as he knows and loves. The adults in South Park are also wrestling with their own life decisions as the advent of AI is turning their world upside down. While the episode doesn't hold back on trash and candy, it notably pokes fun at the other side of the debate as well, skewering the YouTubers who spend all of their time complaining about Kennedy and diversity changes in their online videos.
I didn't really get that it was all after YouTubers. I thought it was just people who didn't like the movies in general.
Yeah, they're just trying to.
Who wrote this?
Some
Which
guy
one?
named Dick.
Oh, well, explains it.
Jeremy Dick.
Okay.
Yes, Jeremy Dick.
Well, he puts the dick in Dick. There you go.
So Jeremy Dick is ass mad about YouTubers. No, it wasn't specifically about YouTubers. If they wanted to go there, like I said, they could have put Cartman in a Doomcock mask and did like they did in She-Hulk.
No, they think it was weird. It was like, oh, because Cartman wrote. It was kind of funny that he wrote all the letters calling her C-word.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to still get that narrative. It was a vocal minority. Thing is, here's the problem with that argument. If it's a vocal minority, why is it globally doing so shit?
Yes.
If it's the vocal minority, why do the numbers keep dropping every time there's a new Star Wars show?
Yes.
They wouldn't. If it was a vocal minority, it wouldn't impact any of that. But it does.
It impacts everything. The general public, they might not complain. They might not have a platform.
On here, like they don't have a platform to complain.
Right. They don't have a platform, but they're choosing not to buy Disney Star Wars stuff. They're choosing not to go see Disney Star Wars movies. They're actively
watching the shows.
Yeah, or watch their shows. Every Disney Star Wars show has gone down show after show after show. People are checking out. You can look at those numbers, and I'm sorry, these YouTubers that Kathleen Kennedy is obsessed about, the comic book resources are obsessed about, we don't have as much clout or power as you think we do.
Our little channel, supposedly, us. Well, I guess if you put us all together, it'd be a few million.
But that's still a drop in the bucket.
Yes, we somehow control all of the audiences watching these movies, and we drove them all the way. It was just us. We were behind it all. It was like, with WandaVision, it was, who's behind it. Yeah, it was like that.
It's Clownfish all alone.
Yeah, that's right. It was us and some of the other YouTubers that it was all us.
So the fact that they're
globally.
Oh my God. So that's like blaming Gamergate for everything. The fact that you're so obsessed that you think a relatively small number of people, because in YouTube terms, a couple of million subs even isn't that. It's still small. I mean, some of the biggest YouTubers out there have dozens of millions of subs. They have a much, much bigger. If Mr. Beast started shitting on Star Wars, okay, I'll give that's freaking Mr. Beast, right? But just when the biggest channels dunking on Star Wars, a lot of them don't even have 1 million subs. You can't. It's the general public. The general public has actively chosen to walk away from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's laughing at the South Park episode. Yes. It is like one of the biggest points that everybody's talking about now, because everybody's like, oh my God, it's so funny because they own Disney. And, I don't care. You can get pissed off all you want. But that was funny because they're like, oh, it's just, Cartman, the vocal minority caused it. And it made her mad. And that's why she lashed out. And I'm like, no, she was fucking ruined Star Wars before everybody started calling her out. She was doing it before that.
Yeah. So apparently, Drunk 3PO says that he has a small peepee. I don't know this person.
Wait, what?
I don't know this person. He has a small peepee. I don't know who this person is, but
who is a small peepee?
The one that's calling out Gina Carano.
Oh,
I don't know who this person is.
I'll take his word for it.
I don't know. Have you seen it?
I don't know. It, dude. I don't know if it's a small peepee.
Yeah. So these people are just like, look, you're clinging to. George Carlin has a skit about clinging to a pillow full of beer farts. And that's basically all that's left of Star Wars at this point are beer farts. And there's not much left. And you go to any Ollie's and look at the piles and piles piles of Star Wars shit. That is Disney Star Wars shit that's not selling. And it's affecting original trilogy too. You can't even give away the original trilogy stuff.
Well, I think that's true. And I think what's going on though is that people were still cared. They still were mad. And they still cared, but now they're just not caring anymore. They're just like, I think by the time we got to the Ahsoka and stuff, people are just like, I don't care. They're just not even, they don't even care enough to get angry about it, which is even worse because at least if you're angry, they're still talking about it. Like, yay, Ewoks. I love Ewoks. It's a problem, okay? I do love my Ewoks.
You know what's so sad about this is, and I said this before, I haven't even watched the original trilogy since all this Disney Star Wars shit has gone down. I don't even want to watch the original trilogy because I know how these characters' stories end now, and they've been ruined. But beyond that, just all the damn drama around Star Wars, I don't even want to watch the original trilogy anymore. So there we go, guys. Gina Carano letting loose. And yeah, I don't think she's going to get as much pushback now because I think the general public is catching on.
Well, they're going to be like, it's like that one where they're sweating about which button to push. Should we pick on Gina Carano for picking on Disney? Or what? Because we hate Disney too now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, which do I push? Hate on Disney or hate on Gina Carano for hating Disney? Oh shit, it's like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
In KK, you can still kiss my ass.